Welcome, everybody. I think some of you probably know that I'm not a huge fan of the NBA as a league. I did watch the last quarter and a half of the NBA Finals, and yeah, it was, I guess, a good result. That's what I'll say. I do have a lot of respect for Kawhi Leonard, and the truth is, I don't know much about the other people on the team on Toronto. Obviously, I know a little bit more about Golden State, given that they've been back to the finals over and over again. But yeah, Greg Popovich is probably, just yelling at his wife right now, taking his frustration out for the fact that he gave up probably one of the better competitors in the NBA. So, with that said, I think most people wanted to be able to enjoy the NBA Finals without some sort of interjection of politics, but it's going to happen. And the fact is that it actually has nothing to do, believe it or not, it has nothing to do with American politics or Justin Trudeau. Unfortunately, again, we're seeing the Israel-Palestine conflict being injected into things that have nothing to do with it. But there's a rational reason for it. So the Toronto Raptors are owned by a conglomerate. They are so the person who is in charge is his name is Larry Tannenbaum. So Larry Tannenbaum is the chairman of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, and I believe that the group is, they run most of Toronto's major sports groups, the sports teams, the Maple Leafs, the Raptors, and Toronto FC, which is their soccer team. And he is, of course, so Tannenbaum, of course, is a Jewish name or German. I think there are some Germans that are named Tannenbaum, like the Christmas song. So it says the Toronto Raptors are one win away from the NBA championship and a free trip to Israel. The team's Jewish billionaire co-owner Larry Tannenbaum has said he will bring the club to visit if it wins the title. The Raptors are up 3-1 in the best-of-7 finals over the two-time defending champion Golden State Warriors, but the Canadian squad could not seal the deal at home in Game 5 on Tuesday, losing by a point and must win either at Golden State on Thursday in San Francisco. So this is wrong, by the way. It's not in San. So this woman who writes for the JTA, and I guess that's being shared by the Jerusalem Post. She also writes for the local Jewish news over here in Ohio, the Cleveland Jewish News, and she's an idiot. And I recognized her name when I clicked on this article because I've been reading her idiocy for years. And the Golden State Warriors, or as I call them, the Golden Shower Horriors, don't play in San Francisco. They play in Oakland. Israel's Sport 5 reported last week that during a low-key visit to Israel in April, Tannenbaum told several people he met in the Jewish state that, quote, if we win the NBA championship, I will come with the Toronto Raptors to visit the Holy Land. Tannenbaum is active and philanthropic in the local Jewish community and was the founder of the Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs. He is the chairman of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment Limited, which is the parent company of the Raptors, as well as the National Hockey League's Toronto Maple Leafs, Major League Soccer's Toronto FC, the Canadian Football League's Toronto Argonauts. There should be. So I hate her writing. She's an idiot. He also serves as the board chairman of the NBA and a member of the board of governors of the NHL and Major League Soccer. He made his fortune in construction and investments and serves as CEO of the Toronto-based Kilmer Van Nostrand Corporation Limited. Whatever. So his worth is estimated at $1.53 billion. So naturally, his declaration has elicited a reaction from people who are not very big fans of Israel, and of course some people who are. Here, for example,
guys, this is for you with love from the.
This is a lieutenant, a first lieutenant on the firing range with his squad, I guess, his platoon, over an IDF first lieutenant.
IDF. Let's go Raptors! Let's go Raptors! King of the North!
So somebody replied saying, "Go away, the people of the U.S. are waking up and will not continue to allowing your racist, colonizing, terrorist regime in Palestine to be funded with our money." But this has nothing to do with it. That's what's so funny, though. So I have kind of I have a funny reaction to this, but let's go look at some other people's reactions first. It says Raptors in Sid Buzak. I think that means Raptors up the ass. This person is saying, "We going to Palestine, baby, Raptors." Sayfullah Walker is saying, "Raptors fans, y'all going to Palestine with your team?" Who else here? These people are actually, they just post their awareness of it. This person says it didn't go so well the last time you tried to get a sports team to help your image. Because I believe so this is not true. Back in 2017, a number of NFL players were booked to go to Israel. They weren't members of a team. They were various NFL stars, and that was a naked PR move. So let me just make a comment here. For the owner of the team to presumptuously say, "Well, I'm going to take the team over to Israel," basically make a decision for them, I think is a little bit too much. And I'll explain why. Now, I have no problem with him taking his, telling his friends to come with him, asking them to come, telling his employees, "Look, this is important to me. This is important to my work with the team. Please come with me. I've tried to build this team and whatever." But the fact is that I've worked with people. I worked for a company. I actually work for a company now that also it's the same situation, that they have a branch in Haifa. And a person that I worked with, actually my mentor, was told one day, "Look, you have to go to the Haifa branch tomorrow if possible and assist with some sort of project that we need your help with over there." And I happened to know that they actually didn't really need him for the project. They were just completely, the people over there they were completely in and over their heads, and they didn't want to actually figure out what they were doing. Not to put too many details into it. So one of the managers actually stopped him in the hallway and said, "Hey, we need you to go to Haifa tomorrow if possible." And he said, "No, I don't have a passport, and even if I did, I would not go." And his reasons had nothing to do with politics. His reason was that in the international press, there is an image of Israel as this dangerous war zone where people get killed all the time and rockets are falling. And guess what? Those people who are promoting tourism in Israel should be aware that you can't at the same time promote tourism in your country and then constantly talk about all of the existential threats that are going on around it. It's not a good strategy. So a lot of people would legitimately say, "Hey, I have concerns for my own safety. I have concerns for and especially now. I don't know if you watched the earlier live stream, which when you're watching this video will have been yesterday, where I'm talking about all of the unknowns going on with the Iran situation and how people have to be careful. This isn't a joke when you go to countries where people get beheaded or people blow themselves up in cafeterias and things like that. It's no joke. This isn't a matter of being courageous if you're somebody who simply doesn't know enough about the situation to make an educated decision. And in the case of Michael Bennett, who otherwise I don't think is one of the best people, because he's what I would call a compulsive liar. If you know anything about the Las Vegas incident, in any case, people have a right not to participate in things that are clearly political in nature if they have a problem with it or if they have concerns for their own safety. So I would say this isn't the best decision. This person says, hey, Raptors, we love you, but support what Toronto stands for and stand against apartheid Palestine. So I like it when they just do hashtags and they don't realize that it looks very incoherent. So stand against apartheid Palestine, BDS Black Lives Matter. So which one is the apartheid? The Palestine, the BDS, or the Black Lives Matter? Palestinian Lives Matter. Jewish Koner says team will visit Israel if it wins. So, it says here. So that was auto-generated, by the way. And a lot of these Palestinian Twitter users didn't really care because they just hated the Warriors, which is entirely understandable. This person just keeps tweeting. It says, did the Raptors players consent to being used as a prop by an apartheid state? Look, I would assume that I could be wrong. If he did not do this, then Larry Tannenbaum is not the smartest screw in the door. That's also not the smartest analogy there. But if he did not ask their consent, I would say it's a pretty damn stupid decision, because once people say, well, look, he's the owner and he can go, but he never asked me. Let's say Fred VanVleet, who is one of the top players in the game, in the series, says, look, I mean, I was never asked about this. Well, what if I, maybe I don't want to go anywhere. Maybe I just want to have, rest up for next season, or, go get some whores over in Las Vegas or something. It's a totally reasonable objection, and I'm interested if he did ask them. There's a lot of people who simply didn't care. This person actually says the Raptors are basically freeing Palestine, if you think about it. What the hell is he talking about? This has to be connected to something. If you're not rooting for the Raptors tonight, I'll assume you're a Zionist. So there's a photo of Draymond Green, who's for the Warriors, obviously, firing a weapon with an Israeli SWAT team. No, laugh my ass off. Stop. I don't condemn this shit, and I'm praying he leaves because of it, but won't stop rooting for my team because of a dumbass. So these people, look, I think that it is key to be able to separate, athletes from your politics. So it's not always easy. LeBron James opines on politics all the time. You have people like Megan Rapinoe just this week was making a big stink about, I stand for the national anthem, but I'm not singing it, and also I won't put my hand on my chest because this country is really fucked up. That's her whole shtick. It's ridiculous. Okay, some people really overdo it. It's not necessarily the worst thing for some of these athletes to fly over there and visit Israel. You don't necessarily have to like it. But what do you want from them? Do you think everybody has to agree with you about everything? Okay, I am a fan of Pink Floyd. I hate Roger Waters, but a lot of that has nothing to do with his politics. A lot of it has to do with the fact that he's a piece of shit. A lot of it has to do with the fact that he is a liar. He, if you think about his Wall album, Roger Waters wrote a whole album where he basically it's about how the whole world is mean to him. His mother, the court system, I guess. His dad was killed in the war unjustly. So Roger Waters, I guess, granted, it's nothing to joke about. He lost his dad in World War II, but look, a lot of people died in World War II, and apparently you, Mr. Anti-Fascist, you're complaining that your dad died in the defense of the West against fascism. I mean, you have to pick one or the other. You can't have wars without casualties. So his Wall album, this is what I'm getting at. The central thrust of the Wall album is this life of injustice that drives him to become this, metaphorically drives him to become this demagogue. And one of the incidents that is cited is him discovering that his wife's cheating on him when he tries to phone her while he's on tour. And this other dude picks up, if you remember that track, which we can't play here because I'll get a huge copyright strike. So in any case, come to be that years and years later, Roger Waters is cheating on his wife with his buddy's wife. So this is, Roger Waters and Rula Jabril. Rula Jabril. So this is from page 6 from 2016. It says, Roger Waters and Rula Jabril call it quits. So they both wrecked their own marriages in order to basically screw each other. And then they didn't. So Rula Jabril is this very pro-Palestine journalist too, and Roger Waters is a huge pro-Palestine activist musician. And it says here, Pink Floyd legend Roger Waters, a vocal critic of Israel, has split with Palestinian journalist and author Rula Jabril. Waters, 73, and Jabril, 43, have been dating for a few months earlier this year. In the aftermath of Waters' split with his fourth wife, Laura Durning. The relationship became the talk of the Hamptons. The Hamptons, remember from Seinfeld, the ritzy village somewhere at the end of Long Island, where Waters owns 2 homes because both are outspoken supporters of Palestinian rights. Waters is a supporter of a boycott of Israel and has likened treatment of Palestinians to apartheid South Africa, sparking criticism from the pro-Israel lobby. Likewise, Jabril is an articulate critic of Israel and has written 3 books, including Miral, about women caught in the crossfire of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, which was made into a movie by her ex, the famed artist Julian Schnabel, who was Waters' friend and with whom she was married to him, and they cheated on their husband and their wife in order to be together. A source has told us of Waters and the beautiful Jabril's relationship. It's the talk of the Hamptons, and some people are calling them the Palestinian power couple. One can only imagine the pillow talk. I think that's pretty disgusting, thinking about this weirdo in bed. It says here, ironically, Jabril and Waters got to know each other after they were introduced by his ex-wife Durning and Jabril's now ex-husband, biotech entrepreneur Arthur Altschul Jr. So no, it wasn't. It was after she divorced Schnabel. So here you have this guy. This is why I hate him. It has nothing to do with. So yes, his politics I don't agree with, but a lot of people have politics I don't agree with. What's his name? Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine. It doesn't mean I'm not going to listen to his music, but Roger Waters essentially wrote this album where he's complaining about his wife cheating on him while he's on the road, and he's cheating on his wife with his best buddy's wife. So who the hell is this guy to be the moral judge of anyone about anything on any topic? So yeah, I think people have to just deal with it when people have diverging political opinions and celebrities. Now, look, obviously, this channel, I criticize celebrities for their political opinions because their political opinions are open to debate. I would never tell people that, just because Draymond Green is a 2-time or is he a 3-time NBA champion So you're a loser. You should shut up and let him say whatever he wants to say. But at a certain point, you have to realize this is just a visit to Israel. Okay, and like I said, I think some of these people should be given the choice to opt out because of the safety concerns, also because of issues like the fact that some of them might not agree with the premise of the trip. Some of them don't really have any, some people don't want their brand to be political at all. Look at Tiger Woods. He didn't want his, people were asking him questions about political issues, and he said, look, I'm pretty hungry and I want to go eat something. And I think that has to be respected. You can't force people to just, to be vicariously supporting your cause. So this is one last tweet I'll watch. Arabs and Muslims debating who to cheer for based on support for Palestine. So this is I don't know what the ADC is. I think it's the Arab Defense Committee. Abed Ayub. He says Raptors owner wants to take team to Israel if they win. Draymond Green gets off at shooting guns with the IDF in Israel. Then you have Steve Kerr with this. Steve Kerr says, my dad was beloved in the Middle East. He spoke fluent Arabic. He was a champion for the Palestinian cause. So look, obviously this was the cause of the defeat because they never win that cause. But no, I'm joking. It doesn't matter. I don't even know if that quote is true. Look, it's basketball. People want to enjoy the win. I guess congratulations to the people of Toronto and Canada, and especially, I don't really care about that as much because, I don't necessarily think the NBA is the greatest league right now. But, Kawhi Leonard, we should let him enjoy this. We should let all of the other stars in the Raptors, Lowry, and, of course, the coach, what's his name, Nurse? Is it Nick Nurse or something? I don't even know. This is how out of the loop I've been. So, yeah, they should be allowed to enjoy it and have it free from politics. I think this was a huge mistake on the part of the owner to presumptuously tell these people, well, yeah, we're going to go to Israel. No, I mean, this is people's lives we're talking about in a certain sense. Not to exaggerate, but yeah, there is little more in play than telling people that, oh, we're going to go there. That's about it. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to me also on BitChute and on Minds.com. Those are both Chef Leopard. It's also Chef Leopard on Subscribestar if you want to donate. And on Gab at Starscream85 and on Parler at Razor Ray. Talk to you later.